What we have seen now is how delta debugging can take a specific test and use this specific test in order to automatically simplify a fairly complex input to an input where every single character is relevant. So far, however, we need to set up a specific test function for every failure. Is there a way to come up with generic tests that can be used for arbitrary situations? Here again, we have our testing function, and we want to turn this testing function into something that is more generic. For instance, that simply checks whether some assertion has been raised. Here I have converted this testing function into something way more generic. All that's left in here is the call to the function I want to test. In this case, remove HTML markup. If this function raises an assertion error, for instance because the built-in assertion fails, then the test fails as well. If there is no assertion that fails, then we simply return pass. So this test function now can be adapted again and again for arbitrary functions as long as they have an assertion or some other runtime check that makes them fail. Here is our remove HTML markup function from the previous unit, and it has an assertion to make sure that the result no longer contains any HTML markup. And this is precisely what we can test in here. If the assertion fails, then the test will fail, and if the assertion does not fail, then the test passes. You remember this notorious input, double quote, HTML tag, regular text, HTML markup, and quotes, which would not work at all when removing HTML markup. Indeed, this would make the assertion fail, because the output would still contain HTML markup. Now let's go and use delta debugging to minimize this input, such that every character in the input is relevant for producing the error. For remove HTML markup, what is the minimal substring of this string, including the double quotes, that triggers the failure? And as a hint, it's just 2 characters long. Over to you.